Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and a prominent Stoic philosopher, known as one of the 5 good emperors. His influence extended beyond his role as a leader, making him an icon of self-discipline and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius was a key figure of Stoicism, a school of philosophy that emphasizes virtue and rational thinking as the way to a fulfilling life. The Stoics believed that while the human brain has remarkable capabilities, it can also complicate our ability to think clearly. Factors such as unchecked emotions or personal biases can subtly weave into our thought processes, often without us even realizing their impact. For this reason, Marcus Aurelius believed that our ability to make the right decisions should drive our actions. He viewed rational thinking as the compass that can guide us towards a meaningful life. So with that in mind, in this video, we'll explore 5 of Marcus Aurelius' key teachings for rational thinking and how they can be applied to our daily life. At the core of Stoicism lies the belief that our perception shapes our reality. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." In this quote, Marcus Aurelius advises that with the right mindset, we can mitigate worries and focus on what's within our control. However, mastering this mindset requires active effort and understanding, a practice known as reframing. Reframing is a technique used to shift our perspective, allowing us to view situations or people or relationships from a different angle. For example, imagine you decided to start a business, investing significant time and effort into making it successful. However, the results were not as positive as you have anticipated. Or maybe you realized that the journey to success would demand even more effort from you. Naturally, your initial reaction might be frustration or disappointment. Yet, by reframing your thoughts, you could interpret the situation as a chance to build resilience and enhance your determination to press forward. So rather than focusing on the negative, shifting your perspective will give you a chance to recognize the progress as well as the experience you've gained. This reframed perspective helps alleviate feelings of failure and instead cultivates a sense of personal growth and achievement. We should remember that our first thought about a situation is just one way to see it. We're not ignoring reality when we try to look at things differently. Instead, we're opening our minds to other possibilities. This way of thinking will lead to more positive attitude and help us make better decisions. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. These words highlight the everyday battle between emotional and rational thinking. Imagine how many decisions we make every day and how often our emotions influence these decisions. In order to navigate our life more effectively, Marcus Aurelius stressed the necessity of mastering emotional control. Practicing emotional control doesn't mean suppressing our emotions, but it means learning to separate ourselves from them. It's about being in charge of our responses instead of letting our emotions control us. In this way, Stoicism offers us a tool to think more clearly and consequently take better decisions. But what about our gut feelings or intuition? Sometimes we have a feeling about something, a sense that isn't always backed up by concrete evidence or reasoning. While intuition can be very helpful, particularly in situations requiring quick responses, it shouldn't be our only guide, especially when it comes to significant life decisions, such as contemplating a change in our career or relocating to another country. A powerful tool that Marcus Aurelius adopted for processing his emotions was writing. He documented his reflections in a series of writings we now refer to as the Meditations. It was his strategy for self-awareness and personal development. In his writings, he would dissect his thoughts and feelings, systematically analyzing them through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Experts nowadays agree that writing offers a way to better understand ourselves and help us in making well-considered decisions. If you're facing a big decision or in a difficult situation, writing about your feelings can provide a fresh perspective. While writing might not offer immediate solutions, it's a proven method to enhance mental clarity, allowing us to view the situations objectively rather than emotionally. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote highlights the Stoic principle known as the Dichotomy of control, a strategy that divides the problems we face into two categories: things we can control and things we can't. This framework enables us to deal more effectively with the challenges that come our way, and thus by directing our energy where it can have an impact. Commonly, we tend to struggle with control in two main ways. The first way is when we try to control things that are beyond our control, like when we try to control other people's opinions or actions, or things like the weather that we simply can't change. When we try to control these elements, we inevitably fail, which leaves us feeling powerless, frustrated, and often angry. The second way control challenges us is when we neglect to take responsibility for what we actually can control. Things like our beliefs, our values, and our perceptions. When we don't focus our energy on influencing these aspects, we become unable to move forward from our problems. This often results in us feeling stuck, caught in a loop of complaints, and adopting a victim mentality. In his book Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl says, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Once we learn to differentiate between what's within our control and what isn't, suffering becomes a choice. So if we have control and can influence an outcome, we should take action. But if the situation is beyond our control, then there is no need to worry. Often, many of us struggle with the notion of perfection. It can either stop us from starting something we want to do, or keep us from finishing what we've already started. Marcus Aurelius puts this into perspective when he said, "Do not await the perfection of Plato's Republic." Waiting for perfection often results in stagnation rather than progress. We tend to hesitate before taking important decisions or actions, thinking that there is a perfect choice or perfect way to follow. Consequently, we end up at a standstill, waiting for perfection that may never come. Perfection is a subjective concept. What seems perfect to one person might not be perfect to another. That's why constantly chasing an elusive and subjective ideal often leads to unnecessary suffering, as we commonly tend to set unrealistic expectations and put too much pressure on ourselves. Instead, when we focus on progress, we can work towards achievable objective goals, empowering ourselves to always take action and move towards our destination. This doesn't mean letting go of high standards, but rather recognizing the value in each step towards our goal. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote highlights the Stoic practice of turning adversity into an advantage. Every day we encounter challenges, and it's often our instinct to view them as barriers. However, Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius invite us to challenge this notion, as the obstacles we face can become the way to resolution and progress. This perspective compels us to give thoughtful attention to the problem at hand and ensures that our thinking remains grounded in reality. Instead of avoiding or denying our problems, we face them head-on, which will allow us to explore potential solutions and navigate situations more effectively. How beautifully Plato put it. Whenever you want to talk about people, it's best to take bird's-eye view and see everything all at once. In this quote, Marcus Aurelius highlights the need to adopt a big-picture perspective. This is a key part of seeing obstacles as opportunities. It's easy to get lost in the small issues we face every day and lose sight of our bigger goal. But Aurelius encourages us to step back and zoom out. This way we can avoid tunnel vision and see past the immediate obstacles. This will give us a better view of where we are in relation to our long-term goals. By keeping the bigger picture in mind, we can make balanced and rational decisions that also stay true to our larger aims in life.